Am I the a-hole for not going to the wedding of my father and his affair partner? Ow! When I was 17, my mother was diagnosed with breast cancer. 2 years later, she passed away. I am so sorry to hear. That's awful. During these 2 years, my dad was not around much. He was always working and going on business trips. Business trips. My aunt and grandma took care of mom. About 5 months after my mother's passing, my dad introduced me to his new girlfriend. Oh, you know they were dating before that. I was pissed. I yelled at him for how quickly he moved on from mom when they decided to tell me they've been in a relationship for 3 years.
Oh, no. We've been in a relationship since before your mother died. You know, when I was still married to her. It's okay. It hasn't been that fast. We've actually been together this whole time.
I'm sorry, how is that better? So when your mother was sick and dying, he was on business trips. Got it. Good. You're done. You're not the a-hole. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. My dad had been cheating on my mom while she was dying. His business trips were to meet his affair partner. I was so angry, I packed all my stuff and left his house. I haven't spoken to him since that day. Currently, I'm 25. The only family I speak to is an aunt who helped me when I left my dad's house. A few days ago, my aunt called me and asked me how I was, then asked me if I had heard from my dad. I asked why would I hear from him again? My aunt said dad is getting married to his affair partner and by going to his wedding it would help us mend our relationship.
Hell no!
I said, why would I do that? He's dead to me. There was a silence on the phone for a bit before my dad replied, asking if that was how I felt about him. Oh, so he was on the call the whole time. Oh, okay, so they ambushed you. Okay, got it. I immediately cut the call when I heard his voice. I realized he was with my aunt when she made the call. That was stupid. I texted my aunt telling her I asked her not to tell dad anything about me and she agreed back then. She texted me back saying I was an a-hole for saying what I said and my dad is crushed hearing that. And that I should move on by now. I did not want to argue with someone who helped me, so I blocked her. Oh, dear Lord. Yeah, I mean, like, quite frankly, I don't think I'd be able to look at someone in the eye who did this to my mother. Because you're not only dealing with a dad who cheated on your mom, you're also dealing with a dad who didn't really care about your mother who died. That's horrible. And I'm sorry, you're totally valid for feeling the way you feel.
So messed up. Like, what are we supposed to do now?
Over the next 2 days, I got sent a wedding invitation to my mailbox. The only person in my family who knew my address was my aunt, and she gave my number to various members of the family. I'm being bombarded with calls and texts from dad, uncles, cousins, aunts saying I should give him a chance and come to the wedding. I feel like this is like a lot, you know? I feel like, hang on a second. There was no attempt to mend this relationship before the wedding. I don't think that like, if the next time you're seeing him will be at his wedding, I mean, you could go and do a little petty revenge. Maybe you should make a speech. Too far? Sorry. Some were calling me names for what I said. I got a text from the affair partner saying my dad is thinking of postponing the wedding and I should just talk to him. For context, the affair partner was a friend of my mom and knew she had cancer. Oh my Lord. Oh my good golly gosh. I said it's not my fault if he postpones the wedding. I don't want to have a relationship with dad or her. They are trying to force it. It got quiet after that, but being told by so many people from my dad's side I'm an a-hole did leave me conflicted, but I'm sticking to my guns. So am I the a-hole? I'm sorry, did he ever like apologize for like what he did? Like I like the way that you're writing this, it's like, okay, he cheated on your mom died, and then it's literally been years and there's been no attempt to like reconcile or talk to you about it. Like, it's a good thing that, you know, this wasn't just like a pointless affair, but it's still an affair, you know? Like, he is marrying her, but at the same time, it's like the circumstances are honestly quite unacceptable.
You know what? That's unacceptable, okay?
Yeah. I feel like he's trying to strong arm you into like celebrating him. No, it would be one thing if he like remarried like later on, but this whole relationship it really started on a bad note. They're both a-holes, and I just like, I think that before you could ever begin to accept this, there needs to be some serious accountability taken.
I've not come for what you hoped to do. I've come for what you did.
Relevant comments, your aunt violated your trust and the rest of your family needs to be cut off too. Yeah, I mean, like, what the fuck? How is it that they cannot see? Like, they just keep the peace. You keep the peace. You keep the peace then. He should have kept the peace by not cheating on your dying mom. OP responds, I blocked 39 numbers, but what my aunt did really made me sad. I genuinely thought she cared for me. I mean, listen, she probably does care for you. She probably wants the relationship to like mend, but you are under no obligation, especially when it doesn't really seem like there's been any accountability taken.
You've given me an obligation.
I feel like there's a catch here for them to want to reach out now and not years ago. And OP responds, I thought about this too, and I think you may be right because I got some text like it's a son's duty to take care of his father, and your future kids would want their grandfather in their life. Okay, so everybody's just kind of saying, like, just cut them out. Like, cut them out. Like, there's no point in maintaining relationships with people who do not care to, like, consider how you feel. Okay, so we do have an update.
Give it to me.
So this update was less than a month later. After the many texts and calls from multiple family members, I sent a text to all the numbers detailing what dad did and why I chose to be no contact with him. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, because like, do they like not know exactly the extent of like why you're choosing to not go to the wedding and not like support the marriage and go no contact? Like, let's like clarify that for a second. I then blocked all the numbers. I've changed my numbers, but kept the old number in a separate phone to collect evidence if they start to harass me from random numbers. But luckily nothing happened and I thought that was that. A week or so after that, my aunt's fiance came to my apartment. He knows what time I get off work and was waiting for me in the parking lot. I was apprehensive, but reassured me he only wanted to talk. According to him, the texts I sent caused a storm in that family. Ooh, okay, so they didn't know. He told me that some of the cousins who did not know what happened in the past started to question dad and affair partner, and they started to get defensive and deny it, but someone revealed it was true. This has caused a massive argument within the family with some cousins pulling out of the wedding. Wow, okay, good. I'm actually very glad that you sent that message because like, that's a lot of people. He blocked 39 numbers? That is a lot of people who like seem to be okay with your dad marrying your mom's friend after they cheated on her while she was dying.
That's crazy.
Like, my faith in humanity has somewhat been restored because, like, that's a lot. Like, it's one thing if one person who knows the situation feels that way. It's another thing for, like, the entire family. Dad wanted to postpone the wedding so he could talk to me, but the affair partner threatened to leave him if he did that. She sounds like an awful person, I'm just saying.
I need to stop this one, now!
The news of what dad and affair partner did also reached some of their friends who at one point were friends of my mom as well. Some of them also pulled out of the wedding, and this caused affair partner to have a breakdown and start banning anyone who brings it up. I mean, I could be wrong here, but these could be the consequences of your actions. According to Aunt's fiance, she's blaming all of this on me, saying I did this intentionally. I laughed at that. The wedding is still somewhat happening. Good for them. Like, hope you're really happy together. I asked him about my aunt and how this started, and he says all he knows is that there was a conversation of how bad the family would look if I wasn't at the wedding. There it is. This wasn't about mending fences. This was about optics. And my aunt offered to call me. He said he disagreed, but she did it anyway. He said he's only here because he felt I needed to know what happened. I thanked him, but I said I will be going no contact with her, and by extension, him as well. He agreed, wished me well, and left. I'm not gonna lie and say I'm completely okay. I miss my aunt, I miss my mom, but I know what I did was the right thing. I'm currently staying with my girlfriend and she's been cheering me up by coming up with absurd ways to ruin the wedding. I like your girlfriend. As a lot of you said, I should try therapy and I'm gonna take that advice. Some of the comments have made me realize I bottled up a lot of grief and anger. I'm super nervous about it, but I also feel it'll do me good. So once again, thank you for all your comments. Ciao. Ciao. OP did update a year later. He shared that he's been going to therapy, but, you know, having a really, really tough time processing everything that happened with his mom. Unfortunately, he and his girlfriend broke up. He was offered the chance to move to a head office of his company in another city, and, you know, things are going well. Not ready to date yet, but I'm glad that OP's in therapy and dealing with these unresolved feelings. And I'm glad that he stood his ground and didn't go to the wedding, because no, you're not the a-hole at all. The best of luck to them. I wish you well. In hell. Future mother-in-law called me stupid, and now I'm considering calling off the wedding. How do I approach the situation? I, 23 female, am engaged to John, 24 male. We've been together for 5 years. We wanted to get married in July of 2025. I always thought that his family liked me because we got along so well. He has 2 older brothers, 26 male and 29 female, both married. Honestly, I was very excited to have them as my in-laws. They were always kind to me. Some important information. About a year ago, when I was scrolling on Instagram, I saw a profile that was kind of cringy, but in a cute way. It was an older woman's profile who shared inspirational quotes. I remember one particular post, and it was something along the lines of, "Only stupid people pretend to know everything. Don't pretend, just ask." Honestly, this quote kind of changed me in a lot of ways. Before that, I was always worried I might embarrass myself if I don't know something. And after reading that quote, I realized that if I always pretend I know everything, then I miss out on actually getting to learn about things. Ooh, that's good advice. The more you know, the less you know, ain't it? So I decided to change my habits and start admitting that sometimes I genuinely don't know. Someone is talking about the war in Kosovo. Okay, sure, but let me first ask questions so I can really understand what we're talking about. And I ask a lot of questions sometimes. I sometimes even open the notes app and write in some questions that I later want to find answers to. These are my latest. How does time work in a black hole? Why do some snails have shells and others don't? What food is okay for ducks? How does the light bulb work? The old ones with gas inside them. And lastly, does everyone see colors the same? And how can we know that? Oh, it sounds like you're very curious. I love that. I love a bit of curiosity, bestie.
What? What is it?
Sorry for the long introduction, but it was kind of necessary for understanding what kind of person I am. I know sometimes I might come across as annoying. Now on to the problem. His parents hosted a small barbecue last weekend only for the family. So it was the mom, 54 female, dad, 59 male, brothers, 26 male and 29 male, and their wives, 27 female, both. I was the last person who showed up because I had to work late. I entered the house, and when I was walking toward the back of the house into the backyard, I heard John's mom talking about me. To be honest, she wasn't talking about me, more like mocking me. I heard her say in a high-pitched voice, "How does the sun work? Where should I put the fork? Why does nobody like me? How do I wipe my butt?" I just stood there. I had the sinking feeling I couldn't move, so I stood there, and I heard them all laughing. All of them? Even your fiance? One of the wives said, "I actually don't mind her always asking questions. I think it's cute." Oh my goodness. You know, I find that very frustrating because, like, I personally think that people don't know how to have conversations, you know? A genuine curiosity about other people and, like, you know, learning about things, it's really not that common in conversation. Like, I personally find it really difficult to have conversations with anyone because I don't connect with them on a level where we can talk about something interesting for an extended period of time. I think that people having genuine curiosity and actually caring and eye contact is another big one, is actually a very good quality to have. I wish there were more people like that.
I'm interested in this.
And this is not me saying like, no, I'm too smart for people. It just doesn't really seem like anybody listens or is curious about other people or curious about learning. Like, it's just, yeah, it reminds me of a time where, like, oh man, I still have this memory that's so vivid of like me when I was like 6 years old and I was at the lunch table and I was watching like Shark Week. Okay, so I really like sharks. I am a shark aficionado, okay? Big fan of Shark Week. Okay, and I had just watched this documentary, I'm sorry, this is a bit of a tangent, about how, you know, like sharks and how they have babies and stuff like that. And I thought it was so cool. And I came to school and we were talking about it at the lunch table. I was just like, wow, like, isn't this interesting? The conversation ended with everyone bullying me and laughing at me because I liked sharks and thought they were interesting. And I cried in the bathroom stall. Like, I will never forget it. Like, I found it so weird that, like, being curious and, like, being interested in things and wanting to talk to other people about stuff that I found interesting was, like, funny. And I deserve to be mocked over that. Anyways, that was, like, a group of, like, 6-year-olds. Like, the fact that this is still happening, like, to full-grown adults is crazy.
Shut up!
So the comment from one of the wives made me feel hopeful that they will say something like, yeah, sure, we were just playing, we love that. But none of them did. Instead, the mom replied, it's not cute, she's just stupid. After that, they all laughed again. I heard John laughing. My heart kind of broke in that moment because he didn't even say one positive thing. He didn't defend me, he just laughed. I quietly turned around and left the house. I texted John I got sick and have to stay home. Now I'm wondering how I should have approached the situation. I honestly would have walked right in. Like, I would have literally walked right in. Like, I know it's a little too late, but like, just been like, sorry, what was everybody talking about? We live together and I sleep in the guest bedroom for now, and I use the excuse that I don't want him to get sick from being around me. I can't ignore him forever and I can't pretend to be sick anymore because it's been too long. I'm not sure how do I proceed. Maybe it was a misunderstanding. I'm considering talking to them about this, but I'm also worried they won't be honest with me. I mean, no, because it makes them kind of look like a jerk, honestly.
You're a poopy head.
I can't marry him if he really thinks I'm stupid, but I also can't marry into a family who thinks so little of me. But maybe it was a joke and I shouldn't take it so seriously. I'm torn apart and every day I convince myself a little more that it's okay and sometimes we should all laugh about ourselves. Now I'm feeling like I'm going crazy. I would really appreciate some advice. Yeah, I mean, you definitely, because you're confused about the situation, I definitely think that you do need to talk to your fiance about it. And I think that you need to say, listen, I heard what you guys were saying the other day, and I just want to know more about like why you were saying the things you were saying. And like, if I was ever being annoying, like I apologize, but like I'm just a curious person and I like learning. And
here's the thing about learning. It's for nerds.
I don't really think that you need to defend yourself, quite honestly. OP updated. There are comments saying they can't stand people like me. I agree that sometimes I can be a bit too much with the questions, but with that being said, I think I'm still within reason. I don't think that like you asking questions relates to you being stupid at all. I think that the fact that you want to learn means that you're not stupid. So I don't do it around people I just met. I rarely do it at parties or other gatherings. I usually do it with people who are close to me, who I think wouldn't judge me, with people who specifically have knowledge about something and are willing to share it. If I'm a part of a conversation, I'm not rude, I'm not interrupting. I usually just ask one or two questions. Yeah, I mean, I think it's clear that she like makes a note in her, like that she wants to learn more about it. What a weird thing. Like, this is so bizarre. I don't know. I feel like I can relate to OP, so maybe I'm like a little bit biased, but I genuinely think that the right person would really love that about you.
I don't know if I'm the right person for that.
It kind of reminds me of like this cousin that I have that like when he was a little kid, he used to ask like a ton of questions, like all the time. He was so curious, like, and it did get like a little bit annoying at times, but like the fact that he was so curious and interested in learning, this dude ended up being like an engineer. Like, he was so unbelievably smart. I think it's a sign of intelligence as opposed to being stupid.
Wow, I'm so smart.
I think being stupid is being someone who isn't curious and isn't interested in learning and thinks they know everything. So we do have an update. 3 days later. First of all, I want to thank all the people who reached out to answer my questions about black holes, snails, ducks, light bulbs, and other stuff. I would love to have you as my friends. For the other people who said I should just shut up, I don't really care if you find me annoying or hard to be around. I'm okay with that. I don't exist to please everyone. I'm here for a good time and have my own interests and learn. Oh my God. I think that more people need to be like this. Like, I think if more people were curious and tolerant of like learning and like, I just feel like we would have a lot less problems in the world.
Is there anything that's worth more than peace and love on the planet?
I didn't expect my post to gain so much attention, but I'm grateful for the advice. Most of you told me to break up with him and at the very least confront him, so that's what I decided to do. Before I did that, I texted the wife of John's brother, the one who said she liked me asking questions. I asked if we could meet up for coffee. She said, sure. We met and I didn't see the point in pretending to her that I didn't hear their conversation. So after some small talk, I just said, I heard you talking about me at the barbecue. She immediately got sad and said she felt embarrassed. She explained it wasn't a joke, wasn't out of context, and it was mean and hurtful. She said she's sorry for not defending me more, but I said that's okay and I understand. I mean, she's the one that defended you over everyone else, including your own fiance, so I told her I didn't blame her for anything and I just wanted to make sure I understood the situation and saw it for what it really was. And it really was laughing about me behind my back. Bullying. At this point, I had to confront John. In my last post, so many comments were saying that he will probably try gaslighting me, and you were right. Okay, let's get this over with. We were having dinner for the first time since the barbecue happened, because before I tried my best to avoid him. Yes, I know, not very mature of me, but other than you guys, I really don't have a strong support system. My family and best friends are hundreds of kilometers away. I only have 2 good friends here. I was so stressed, I thought I was going to pass out. My legs were shaking and I was terrified because I knew deep down that this is the moment when my 5-year relationship went down the drain. I looked at him in the eyes and asked, how does the sun work? He looks confused. Oh, that's good. Oh, right from the conversation. Oh, yes. So I followed up with, where should I put my fork? Why does nobody like me? At this point, realization hit him and he started nervously laughing.
That is so awkward to watch.
I said I was there and I heard them. After the initial shock passed, he got mad. He said it's rude to eavesdrop. Is it? Is it now? Well, I think it's rude to talk shit about people for no reason whatsoever. I said it's rude to bully people. He tried telling me it was just a joke, that I shouldn't be so uptight, that it really was funny. I said I didn't find it funny, and I went to the guest room to calm down. He started panicking. He was asking me to please talk to him. He was much more apologetic and said he will be 100% honest with me. I asked if his mother made similar comments before the barbecue. He said yes. I asked him if he ever defended me. He said he tries to. I don't know if I believe him. I don't think I believe him either, honestly. Like, he would say that. He told me he loves me and respects me. I don't know if I believe that either.
Girl, the shade of it all.
I mean, the fact that his mother and like his whole family felt comfortable enough to have like this like key session around him, and he was like totally fine with like laughing about it. Like, they've 100% done this before. The fact that they were that comfortable means they've 100% done it before and they felt comfortable doing it in front of him because he never stood up for you, ever. If he had, that's literally all it takes. When someone is getting bullied, that's all it takes, is someone being like,
I don't know. I don't really feel comfortable with this conversation. Like, I feel like she means well, and I don't appreciate you talking about my future wife like that.
That's all it would take, literally. They're all keying and laughing about how supposedly stupid you are. No. I said I love him too, but I need a break. He's all I ever known. He was my first and only partner. I have no outside perspective of this. I have no experience. I need a moment to think. I will be going to my friends for a while to think everything through. The apartment has his name on the lease anyway. After I gathered some of my things and left, he kept texting me nonstop. He tried calling, but I didn't respond. I was very hurt because he tried to belittle my feelings, and only later, when he realized I might break up with him, he started apologizing. The next day, I decided to give him another chance to explain himself, and I came back to the apartment. He seemed sad and tired. He said that he told his mother that I overheard them. I said, I don't care. It's his time to step up and show me that he cares. I'm not interested in an apology from his mother. I'm already done with her. I can't put up with this behavior and mocking me like we're in primary school. I saw a comment that probably her ego is hurting. I mean, yeah, like I fail to understand how someone being curious and asking questions and being genuinely interested in what other people are saying and genuinely interested in knowledge, that is a sign of intelligence. That is not a sign of being stupid.
I'm not stupid.
She never got the chance nor ever had the desire to have an education. There it is. And listen, just because you don't have an education does not mean that like you're less smart than other people. Understand that the more you know, the less you know, okay? Maybe she wishes she was a little more like you. She's a very good homemaker, but outside of that, she doesn't have interests of her own. If I'm asking her about making tomato soup, she will be talking for 30 minutes, lecturing me about adding enough sugar, but not too much. She will lecture anyone who's willing to listen.
Listen to me very carefully.
But anytime someone's talking about something she's not familiar with, she gets defensive and tries to imply nobody cares, and if it's not relevant to her, it shouldn't be discussed. See, that's it. I think if anybody is lacking in intelligence or being intolerant of learning, it's her. Once again, he tried telling me that I should relax because it was only a joke, and at this point, I had enough. If someone keeps saying something is a joke when you have clearly stated that you do not find it funny, it's not a joke. It's funny to everyone except the person that it's about. I took off my ring and told him that this behavior is a joke and I can't be the punchline. I told him I wish him and his family the best and to look in the mirror to check if they are really as superior as they think they are. I said I'm going to be back with my friend to pick up the rest of my stuff and not to contact me unless it's about moving my things out. And that's it. I'm done. Thank you for all the advice. Without you, I wouldn't have the confidence to leave this man. I know I deserve better. Yeah, and you deserve someone who like loves those little, if you could even call them quirks about you. I feel like having a genuine interest in things, like it is not cool to not care and to think that you're like above people. It is not cool to like, you know, sit on the internet and just like criticize others for trying and for learning and for, you know, trying to better themselves. Like that is not, you're not cool. Like you're not.
Not cool. Not cool!
It's not cool to criticize someone who's trying to better themselves and learn. Honestly, I wish that we could be friends, OP, because I feel like we could have a long conversation about what ducks eat. Sometimes I bring like this up and it's just like falls on deaf ears. I find it so interesting. Like if I could find someone to talk about Egyptian history with, oh my God, please. I'm over here watching my like 8th documentary of the day. So we have one last update. So I got my own apartment now. Good. I've lived with my friend and she was an amazing support for me after the breakup, but I have my own place closer to my university and work. Turns out my ex-fiance didn't tell his family we broke up. I blocked them all except for the ex because we needed to keep in touch in order to get my stuff from the apartment. And nice sister-in-law. And a week after the breakup, she texted me and asked when I will come to the parents' house because everyone wants to apologize. Oh, interesting. I called her and said we're no longer together and I don't want their apology. She seemed shocked because my ex was telling them that we were fine and she just needs some time.
He's just a lion sack.
Nah, man, if this is a deal breaker for her, she don't need time. Ex-sister-in-law told me the family's still fighting over this whole ordeal and the brothers are giving my ex a hard time about the situation. I told her nicely, I don't want any updates. I like her, but I can't put my energy toward following their every move. She told me she understands. I don't know what happened after that. I'm happy. I went on a date with a cute guy I met in a cafe, but I'm taking everything slow and I don't want to rush. I'm not ready because just 3 months ago, I was planning a wedding and right now I'm single and focusing on studying and work. When I graduate, I want to adopt a kitten and that's my only goal. I also enrolled in CS50 by Harvard X, and I recommend you all try to learn something new today. Wow. Okay, so you like smart. You like smart. What is Harvard X? Charlotte doesn't know things. She's stupid. No, I do my research. I'm willing to learn.
You're goddamn right.
Okay, so it's online Harvard, basically. That's amazing. The story honestly really hit home. Be the nerd, okay? End up with a nerd that appreciates your nerdiness. Sis guys!